One man built a studio that told children their toys were alive. That imagination mattered. That being replaced was the worst thing that could happen to you. Then the same man built the device that replaced them all. Steve Jobs bought Pixar in 1986 for $10 million. 9 years later, Toy Story became the first fully computer-animated feature film in history. A movie about toys that are terrified of becoming obsolete. Woody watches Buzz Lightyear steal his spot and panics. Because in Toy Story, being forgotten is death. Jobs understood that. He built an empire on it. Then in 2010, he stood on stage and unveiled the iPad, called it magical. A third category between phones and laptops, 300,000 sold on day one, 15 million in the first year. By 2025, 40% of kids own a tablet before they turn 2. Now, Pixar, the studio Jobs created, is releasing Toy Story 5. And the villain is a tablet. Her name is Lilypad. Lily. Pad. Say it out loud. She's a frog-shaped screen that steals Bonnie away from her toys. Not through force, through convenience. She doesn't need imagination. She's always on, always listening, always engaging. Woody comes back, bald now, wearing a poncho, looking like a relic from a century the kids don't remember. And the line that should haunt every parent watching, toys are for play, but tech is for everything. Think about what Pixar is actually saying here. The studio Steve Jobs funded is telling you that the device Steve Jobs invented is destroying childhood. And they're releasing it on screens that kids will watch on iPads, while sitting next to toys they haven't touched in months. Disney, which bought Pixar from Jobs for $7.4 billion, is now profiting from a film that criticizes the technology Disney Plus streams on. The snake eating its own tail, and charging you $14.99 a month to watch. But here's the part nobody's talking about. 3 hours and 38 minutes. That's how much screen time the average 5 to 8-year-old clocks per day. Gaming is up 65% since 2020. 1 in 4 parents use screens because they can't afford childcare. This isn't a parenting failure. It's an infrastructure one. Pixar made a movie where the toys fight back against technology. But in the real world, toys don't fight back. They just end up in landfills, while the screens get thinner, faster, and cheaper. Steve Jobs died in 2011. He never saw the iPad become a babysitter. Never saw his studio turn his invention into a cartoon villain. But he might have understood, because Jobs lived in that contradiction his whole life. He built tools that were supposed to empower creativity, and watched them become tools of consumption instead. Pixar was creativity. The iPad was consumption. And Toy Story 5 is the moment those two legacies finally collide on screen. So when you take your kids to see it this June, ask yourself this. Are you watching a movie about saving imagination? Or a $2 billion corporation selling nostalgia for a world their own products destroyed? Maybe both. Maybe that's the point. Share this if it made you think. Subscribe if you want to keep watching. I'll be here, watching the Singularity until there's nothing left to watch.